Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Art 196, Introduction to Web Design for the fall semester 2021. Anyway, today what I want to focus on is taking lesson 7 that we just completed, which adapts your website for media queries for small screens and for all the way down to a smartphone. Make sure that it looks good and it's responsive to any screen size. So if we're looking at it on a large screen, it's a 3-column format and that looks good. If it's on a small screen, a tablet, then it drops down to a 2-column format, and then it goes all the way down to a 1-column for a large smartphone, but then an even smaller one, it shrinks down a little bit more, makes it even more compatible. So when we have all of that done, this is what you need to do. Now, I'm assuming that everybody got an account at infinityfree.net. Okay, that's infinityfree.net. Before we use it, I don't know what you named your file. I used the one that I was working on and named it my layout working file.html. But because this will be the first page that loads on the published page, using infinityfree.net as our host, then that first page, the file name needs to be named index.html. So if I switch over to file names now, so you need to, you can have it multiple. I have my multiple file names. You can have my layout working file, and then do a file save as and name it index.html, and make sure that index is a lowercase I. Okay. Now, inside the root folder, you should have a CSS folder. That CSS folder is for Bootstrap CSS. There should be a font folder. There should be your greenstyles.css. You should have an image folder. You should have the index.html. You should have a JavaScript folder. And the my layout and my layout working file, we don't need to worry about. We're not going to publish those. We just need to publish all of the others and see what happens. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to bring this down. And as you can see, I have 2 active accounts with infinityfree.net. I have one that I created last spring, and this is the one where I have my MobiRise website. And I just created a brand new one now for this page right here, the one that we just created. So once you have that available here, what I want to do is I want to manage the account. Okay, and this is what I see. Now, once I click on that, and I'm going to go back because I already have the other ones open. Okay, what I want to see, hold on here. Yeah, let me go ahead and do it anyway, and I'll jump to it. So I'm going to click here to manage files. Okay, and you can see that we have in the control panel or in this page, I have the information that I can use for FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol. We have subdomain names that give us our username. This is the username that they're providing for us. They also password. We can show or hide that. Shows that it's active status. And we're set to go. So now what I want to do is I want to click on here on the orange bar here that says File Manager. And when I get that, that should pop up in a minute. And this is what you should see. Okay. Now notice we have a folder, an orange folder that says htdocs. We also have files that say HT access, HT access, override, and also a little file that they put here. This is do not upload files here, and that is correct. You do not upload your files here. What you want to do is we want where the folder is, where it says HT docs, that's where we want to upload our files. So I'm going to click here. And you'll notice that I have changed and I'm inside that folder now, and it says files for your website should be uploaded here. And you can see that they have an index page, an index2.html. Okay, so now we're ready to upload the files. There are two buttons in the lower left-hand corner. One is a put and the other is a get. So I want to put files from my local folder, my local root folder in here. So it'll take us a couple of steps, but I'll click here to upload. And I can upload individual files or folders. So let's start with the individual files first. And I'll click there. And you can see that I've already gone to my lesson 7 folder. Now you will have to find yours. It won't do that automatically. I don't know where you have your lesson 7 folder on your computer. But again, I can select the green styles. I can hold down the command key. I can select index.html. And those are the two individual files that I need to upload. So I'll go ahead on the Mac, if I hold down the command key, that allows me to select them individually. Sometimes it's beneficial if you only do one at a time. Sometimes it gets kind of bogged down if you do too many files at once for whatever reason. But I'm going to go ahead and click upload, and I'm going to, hopefully everything works. And you can see I have the index and the green styles. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload the folders. All right, so I'm going to click here and I'm going to upload the folders that are contained inside there. So now I'll select the CSS. I'm going to hold down the command key. Nope, it will only let me do one folder at a time. So we'll have to do that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I'm going to upload the CSS. That's for the Bootstrap CSS. I'll upload that folder. I'll do that again. Let's go ahead and upload again. Upload folder. And the next one will be fonts. And I'll do it again. Upload folder. And I'll do images next. If you miss any one of these things, your page will not work. And you have to make sure that when you were working on lesson 7, that your root folder and the image folder were contained inside the root folder were the ones that were set up for this particular account. Because if the image folder lies outside, the one that you had selected lies outside of the root folder, it's when we upload the files and they're published, it will know that that image folder lies somewhere, but it knows that it's outside of the root folder. And if it can't find it, even though you've uploaded an image folder, it won't work. It won't show any images. And the same holds true for the style sheet as well. So I think I have everything uploaded. So now what I can do is I can go back to my original file here, my original folder. So let's go back to here. So I'm going to go back to here. And let's see if I can't find. And here it is, domains and subdomains. So here's the Art 196 Fall 2021. And they've given me all of the other things. It says freecluster.eu. So that's the domain. So now when I click on it, I'm going to cross my fingers and it should load. And there you go. This is my published page from lesson 7 that we both, we all worked on. And I have it loaded in Safari, and now we test it. We go down, make it a little bit smaller. Notice that it goes down to the 2 column. I drop down again and it goes down to a 1 column. And if I make it even smaller, and it won't allow me to make it any smaller than that, but I'm in good shape. This is what I want to see from all of you. So once you publish it, all you need to do is email me at kirkmillerart@gmail.com. Put in the subject or your name, Art 196, and then put lesson 7. And then in the content, take the whatever domain name you have here, the URL, copy it and paste it in there. And I should be able to click on it and see your published page. And when it's published, then all I have to do is, if it's working, as I see mine working here, then you get full credit. You get 20 points of credit. Do you guys have any questions? This is going to be a short lesson today. That's all I have to cover. Do you have any questions for me? Let me go back and let's see here. I'm going to go back to let's go back just to Infinity Free real quick. Yeah, once you've attained your account or set up your account, then this is what you should see. Now, it will have your name, it will have your username, it will have whatever website name that you have assigned it. Now, it will do a search, and if it finds that somebody else has already used the same name that you want to use for your website, then it will kick it back and it will ask you to pick a different one. Now, if I select this other one, and this is what you'll be working on next. So here's the one that I set up from last semester, so I can talk for a few more minutes, and then we'll, if there aren't any questions, then we'll just call it a day, and that will be it. But on Thursday, what I want to do is I want to talk about MobiRise. MobiRise is a free application that you should download. Go to mobirise.com. Download the free application. It's available for both the Mac and the PC. And this Thursday, I'm going to dedicate the entire hour to showing you how to use MobiRise. It's similar to Wix, but the difference will be is that everything that you create is offline instead of live the way it's been with Wix. And then we're going to have to publish it similar to what we're doing today. So if I click on this one, we should go to my website here. And there you go. This is the one that I created in MobiRise. Now, when you create your MobiRise website, you'll have the option of using separate pages. Or in my case, I used one page, but with 4 different segments. So if I click on this down arrow here, notice that it takes me to my About Us. I've used these widgets that they provided that help condense text. I can click on Portfolio. It takes me down to a different kind of slideshow. Same images that I've used on other pages. And then if I click here, it drops down to the Contact Us. And if I click on Home, it takes me back up to the top. So it's, similar, but slightly different approach to website. And that's it. So that's what we'll be doing on Thursday. I'm going to show you, once you've downloaded MobiRise, it will give you limited access. You can create a full, robust website in it, but to have access to all of their templates, all of their web widgets does cost you. And I have purchased one. It's a little over $100, maybe $130 or so. And I'm not asking you to buy it. Just use the free version and see how you like it. It's been my experience in the past that most students prefer Wix to Mobirise. And if you like Wix, then an upgrade for that would be Squarespace, but that costs. Squarespace has some really beautiful templates. They're really elegant. But if a client comes to you and says, I want you to design a website, very quickly, then you might want to do that. If the client's paying for it, then so be it. Anyway, so let me go back to here. Let's go back to this one. And I got to go back to Infinity Free and see if I can, there we go, manage my accounts. So, go to infinityfree.net. Don't use .com, and put in your information if you haven't created an account yet. And it's going to ask you to assign a name to your first website. And then it's going to add this extra information here. So it really doesn't roll off your tongue. Mine is Art 190 for this semester is Art 196, fall 2021. But then it's .freecluster.eu. That's going to be a hard one to remember. Now, something that I can do maybe on Thursday or even next week is if you're interested in purchasing a domain name and you want to use a separate service that uses a forwarding feature, that will work as well. Because I've done that with a number of my websites as well. That if I put in, for example, K Miller Online, let's see what that goes to. Because I use the forwarding service for that. Yeah, it takes me back here. But if you look at the top here, the actual address, it's Art 196, spring 2021, infinityfree.com. Now, I've done that because I have an account through GoDaddy. I purchased the domain name kmilleronline.com through GoDaddy, and I used their forwarding feature. And when you do that, I can show you that on another day. I just want to make sure that you get your page published. And then what we can do is I can show you that because it only costs maybe $10, $15 a year to be able to buy a domain name. And then the forwarding service is for free. Okay. So is there anything that you would like me to repeat? Is everybody kind of clear on what you need to do to publish lesson 7? Let me review slightly here. I'm going to go back up to Dreamweaver, and then we will call it a day. So after you've completed lesson 7, make sure that the file name that you give it when you're all done is you do a file save as and name it index.html, index.html. And when you look at your folder here, you should have your root folder. You should have the CSS folder, which is for the Bootstrap CSS. You should have a font folder. You should have the green styles that we've been working on. That's a file name. We have another folder for the images, and there should only be 2, the fern image and the stripe image, and that's it, ping files. And then you're going to have your index.html, the one that you just named, and you're going to have another folder for, it'll say JS for JavaScript, which for Bootstrap and jQuery and stuff makes a lot of this stuff work. Make the hover state work and that sort of thing, that requires JavaScript that we don't need to worry about. You'll have the additional file or files that we created in here. I have my layout, which was the initial one that we started with. And we're actually is where we left off with lesson 6. And then we have the one that I saved and created that you see right here, okay, which is the completed lesson 7. But these 2 files you don't need to upload, but you need to have them accessible. Okay, and then you go back to your Infinity Free and you go back again, and I'm going to manage it. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to go to File Manager, and it should take me to here. Remember, don't put your files here. Click on htdocs folder. That's where you place your files. And in the lower left-hand corner, you can put or upload individual files and folders. And make sure that all of the files and folders are the ones that you have been using in your lesson 7 folder. You don't have to delete these other files. Index 2 and the files for your website be uploaded here. You don't need to delete those. Those are just fine. And then when you're set to go, you can go back to this page that we were working with before. Let's see, let me go back again. That was the published one. I'm losing track now of everything. There we go. So this was the one for this semester. And then you can scroll down, and where it says domains and subdomains, this is the domain. Just click on there and check to see that it works. Okay. If there aren't any questions, that's all you have to do this week is to finish lesson 7, publish it. Make sure that you have the infinityfree.net account to do so. And then also this week, you will need to download a free version of MobiRise. Okay, that's mobirise.com. Okay, we good? No questions from anyone? No? Okay, then that's it. We're done. Short day today. Good luck. And if you have questions or you run into issues, just text me. Okay, or email me rather, and I will get back to you. And if we need a separate individual Zoom meeting, we can do that, try to work out and troubleshoot what's going wrong. Okie doke. Okie doke. Bye-bye. I'm going to pause my recording and you guys are free to go.